daughter was in her room, busy with homework, when she heard her mother call her name. Dinner was ready. She jumped onto her feet and began making her way downstairs when suddenly, a pair of hands grabbed her and pulled her into the laundry room beside the staircase. She panicked before realizing it was her mother, unusually weepy, with bloodshot eyes. "Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too. We bought this rundown house, my boyfriend and I. While he started working on converting the kitchen into the main bedroom, I insisted on removing the old wallpaper. The previous owner papered every wall and ceiling in the house. It's a lot of work to remove, but it feels so good to get rid of it. The best feeling is getting a long peel, like when your skin peels after a bad sunburn. I turned it into a game, on the hunt to rip the longest piece possible. I noticed there was a person's name and date under a corner section of paper in every room. I couldn't help but investigate and Googled those names. What I discovered left me speechless. The names all belonged to missing people, and the dates matched the day of their disappearance. We notified the police, who sent the crime scene team. I overheard one of them say, "Yeah, it's human." "Wait, what's human?" "Ma'am, where's all the material you removed? This isn't wallpaper." A father went to say goodnight to his son, as it was routine since he knew his son would have trouble sleeping if he didn't. It was a sort of silent tradition between them, one he never forgot to attend. The room was dimly lit by the lamp, but the father could clearly see there was something unusual about the kid tonight. He looked the same, just with a huge grin that drew from ear to ear. "You okay, buddy?" he asked. The son nodded, still grinning, before saying, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." The father chuckled and got on his knees to take a look. There, under the bed, was his son. His real son. Pale, trembling, and scared to death. He whispered, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." Last night I was rushed out of the house by a friend to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. A few drinks later, I realized I had lost my phone. I checked everywhere, even in the restrooms. Nothing. I ended up using my friend's phone to call mine. The phone rang twice, someone picked up, giggled with a low and raspy voice, and hung up. I tried again, but nobody responded anymore. In the end, I gave up and headed home. I found my phone on the nightstand, right where I had left it. Two teenagers are in a deserted lover's lane, making out in the car. The radio is on, announcing the news that a convicted serial killer just escaped from the asylum he was kept in. Police ask people to call them if they see a bizarre-looking man with a hook in his hand. The girl, unsettled by the news, asks the boy to take her home immediately. He tries hard to convince her date to stay, but eventually gives up and heads back. Safely at the girl's house, she gets out of the car, but the door doesn't close. She freezes as she sees a hook suspended from the door handle. Mommy has the habit of going out every Saturday night, so Daddy and I always go get ice cream together after dinner, just the two of us. Around dinner time, I go to the kitchen to see what Daddy is cooking, but he's not there. I saw a note on the counter that said Mommy and Uncle James were going somewhere together. I'm not sure, I don't read that well. I find Daddy in the garage. I shut the door behind me like I'm supposed to. Daddy is in the front seat, the car engine already turned on. It seems like we won't be having dinner tonight, only ice cream. I get in the back seat behind him since I'm not a big boy yet. Daddy doesn't answer when I say hello to him. Maybe he can't hear me over how loud the car is. I think I'll take a nap on the way to the ice cream shop. I feel kinda sleepy. Mommy always told me there's a rule I can't absolutely break. Don't go in the basement. That place is a total mystery to me. The only thing I know is that there's often a sound coming from there, like a weeping puppy. And I really wanted to see the puppy. So one day, I opened the basement door and tiptoed downstairs. There was no puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the room and yelled at me like never before. It made me so sad I started crying. She told me never to go in the basement again and then gave me a cookie. In the end, I never asked her why that boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Best friends Meg and Samantha share a room in the college dormitory. One night, Samantha goes out to party with her date while Meg decides to keep studying for the upcoming midterm exams. When Samantha comes back from the party, the lights are all turned off. She doesn't switch them on, as her friend is asleep. Early in the morning, Samantha asks Meg to discuss the exams. As Meg stays silent, Samantha hesitantly uncovers her face to wake her up. Horrified, she looks at Meg's face, now turned black and blue, and falls to the floor in shock. She sees that Meg's desk is all messed up, with only a note on the wall. "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights?" The murderer must have been in the room when Sam returned the night before. One night, a girl finds herself alone at home, with only her dog to keep her company. The TV news is on, reporting that a serial killer is on the loose. Feeling uneasy, she locks all the doors and windows, accidentally leaving one open. In the middle of the night, she is awakened by a dripping sound. Scared, she searches for her dog for comfort, feeling him licking her hand. But the dripping sound keeps going, so she checks everything, from the taps in the kitchen to the bathroom, but nothing. She gives up and returns to her dark bedroom, her hand down again for her dog to lick. In the morning, when she opens her closet, she finds her dog dead and hanging upside down. That dripping sound was from his blood. On the closet doors, she sees a message: "Humans can lick too." This story dates back to a few years ago. A married couple decided to enjoy a night out, just the two of them. They called their most trusted babysitter to look after their kids. When she arrived, the two children were already fast asleep in bed, so the babysitter just sat around and ensured everything was okay. Later that night, she got bored and decided to watch TV, the only cable TV in the parents' bedroom. She called them and asked if she could use it. Of course, the parents said it was okay, but the babysitter had one final request. She wondered if she could cover that angel statue placed outside the bedroom window with a blanket or something because it made her uneasy. The phone line was silent for a moment, and the father said, "Take the children with you and get out of the house. We'll call the police. We don't have any angel statue." When the police arrived, they found the kids and the babysitter in pools of their own blood. No statue was found,